Mike McCool here. I'm in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me this morning is Michelle Smeltzer from the DSS, Department of Social Services, and her new boss, the interim director, Beth Reavis. So nice to have you here. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
We've seen you in and out over the years. So I was telling them before we started that they call people back, whenever there's an empty slot somewhere, they call people back in to help fill the void. And so, in this community, we got a lot of really good people that are qualified, and they might not want the job permanent, but they don't mind filling in and helping out.
That's exactly right.
And I'm sure I know you're that way. So
Well, we're really lucky to be able to get Beth back.
that's good. And
Or
Deanne,
even a
she
short
does
period.
Yeah, your previous boss, she did a good job, and I was really kind of surprised she left. She seems to be so into the community and everything, but it's good. She went back closer to family, and
Right.
and that's okay. But
Yeah.
things change. But we'll keep going on. Well, anyway, today we're here about a new program that Beth and Michelle have said is underutilized. So we want to hear a little bit about it, and it involves some money and some rent, and
Yes.
and I think there's some of our viewers will be interested in that. So go ahead and start with the name, because that's a mouthful, I'm
Yes,
sure.
it is. It's the Virginia Rent and Mortgage Relief Program. And because of COVID, they're going to be giving out money to help you pay your back rent and mortgage payments. But you do need to fill out an application. You do need to provide some information, financial, rental agreements, that type of thing. But it's a great program, and it started on April 1st. So if you are delinquent in rent or your mortgage payments back to April 1st, they will hopefully be able to assist you in catching up on those payments. And it even moves forward. So if you weren't able to pay your rent, let's say in August, and they approved you, and you're in the same position in September, you could reapply in September for help with September rent or mortgage.
Is this something that's going to you think will be going on till the end of the year, or is it kind of like just for that window?
Yeah, right now it's going on until the end of the year, and they're supposed to be getting some more money. This isn't a DSS program, so I can't speak too much to what's going on with it, but we did find out that it is underutilized right now. The number that you would call, they do like a pre-qualification screening, and then they send you an application if you pass that screening call, and then from there they will ask for documentation that they need to forward that. A lot of the screening is, a lot of people are going to qualify. It's very broad. So a lot of people would qualify, and if you're behind, even if you don't think you'll qualify, I would encourage you to make that phone call and at least go through the process just to make sure, because you might be surprised.
Yeah, the programs change the rules all the time. I
Right.
remember the PPP came out, and all of a sudden it was 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 20. Now it's forever. It seems like. So yeah, the rules do change. They're pretty fluid. Is this an income based?
Yes. So
Most of these
depending
programs
on your
are.
family size, yeah.
But it's fairly generous by Department of Social Services
Right.
standards. Your issue about not paying your rent does have to be COVID related. So if you lost your job, or you had reduced hours, or you got laid off, or the business closed, or you can't work because you have to take care of your kids and you don't have daycare, which with school starting, that's going to
be our next problem. We're going to have to
Be a
address.
problem for our moms and dads, and then if you're compromised health and you can't go to work because you're worried that you would contract COVID, then you qualify also. So it's very broad.
That is very broad.
It is very broad, and we feel like people need to utilize it and not be afraid to apply
and
get that help.
You might be surprised.
People, are finding themselves in situations that they've never been in before. And we're trying to get the word out so people do not get so far behind, because that's so hard. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, and when you get behind, it's very difficult to catch up.
Very difficult.
And so we want, there's a couple of new programs that we're going to talk about, Michelle's going to talk about, and that we really want people to utilize, because there's nothing wrong with getting help when you got when the whole country has issues.
Right. These are really help up programs, not doing for you. It's a hand up, help up to get you back on your feet. And it's not just the people that haven't paid their rent; it's the people that haven't received the rent. It trickles down to
it's helping the landlords.
It goes right on down the line, which helps businesses and individuals, and it involves a lot of people. When you don't pay your rent, landlord doesn't get his money. Landlord can't pay his help, can't get repairs, and it's just a big. It's a big pyramid there.
And we're hoping that the landlords that hear this will encourage their tenants that are struggling to apply, because they're going to need documents from their landlord. They have to turn in their lease. They have to have an agreement with the landlord, and all that paperwork. They can help with that.
Sure.
And it'll help. I was really pleased that it was going to help the landlord. The checks will go directly to the landlord.
Okay.
So it's good for It's good for everybody.
So it benefits you to help, because you're the one that's really going to benefit. It's the landlords are going to really benefit, and then the homeowner or the renters will also benefit, having that relief taken away from them. As far as that stress of, am I going to be evicted or whatever?
Yeah, we're
I'm going to
seeing
be on the street.
an increase in child abuse. We're seeing an increase in mental health issues, because this is putting a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, a lot of stress on people when you can't pay your bills, or when you're worrying about where the next.
When you're worried about your shelter, people.
That's one of the top three things.
Time.
Yeah.
And you have kids, and you don't know if you're going to be, in your home, how much longer you're going to be there, and it's a very stressful time.
Right. People say if you go 2 weeks without a paycheck, could be on the street. That's most of us.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that when everything is going along hunky-dory, so to speak, you don't really think about those things, but it can really affect you.
So let me give the phone number before I forget. So if you're interested in this, to pre-qualify, call 833-437-0114.
And I'll put that number in the story as well. That'll be great.
So just call them, and they'll put you through the screening process. And if you need help, call me at Social Services. I'll be glad to help you if you need help filling out the application, or they do have some services where, if you're not able to, scan in your documents and email it to them, because you're not going there in person. This is all going to be done electronically. So some people will not be able to do that very easily.
Yeah.
So
some of us are electronically challenged.
Yes.
And
so we have ways to do
We can help
that.
with that.
Yeah.
We can help with the scanning, the copying, all that kind of stuff. We'll be glad filling out the paperwork, helping them. If their landlord's not cooperating, we can try to talk to them on their behalf and just move this program forward, because it's there to help people.
Right. And like you say, helping them on the front end is going to stop, will save you a lot of work and people's aggravation and pain in the future.
Yeah.
So you have some other programs that we want to talk about?
We do. We have other programs. We have an emergency assistance program that's, if you qualify for TANF, and that's temporary assistance for needy families. That's for families with children. It's the income threshold is very low.
Very low.
So you have to be either unemployed or have very low income to qualify, but or have no income. But you could receive up to $1,500 to pay bills through that one program. And it's called emergency assistance. It's normally not even available. They've opened it up because of COVID, and it's for COVID related issues. But again, that's a pretty broad.
Especially like you say, schools closing down, your kids. There's a lot of single parent homes in our county.
And that's going to it's going to be much more difficult.
I'm concerned about what are we going to do when school starts, and two-income families have to work making low-end wages to begin with, and they're going to leave their 8-year-old at home by themselves, and some of them don't have a choice.
So
it's going to be a program.
Hopefully people will access these programs to help them through these times. We've got utility assistance coming from the CARES Act that the Board of Supervisors has approved money for people in Warren County. And we haven't worked out all the details about the program, but it's going to be available soon. And we'll get the word out through the Royal Examiner and all the news outlets so people know to apply for that. That'll be help with your past utility bills if you haven't been able to pay those.
Yeah, because I seen the town was talking about the amount of utility bills. It adds up really fast.
It does. It does.
Especially with the air conditioners running full
Right,
blast.
right.
Yeah, we'll wait till it's winter. And we're gonna have.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about our, and our homeless situation
Right.
is increasing. So we've got a lot of topics to talk about coming up in the near future. So
I'll be back for that.
I know you will. So what else we have? Do we have another program?
So we have, the utility assistance we're talking about, we normally have cooling that's going on right now. That application process ends Monday after we close. So
Right,
we have all day,
17th,
Monday.
right.
But then we just found out that that's going to be extended.
Yeah, there'll be an additional program the state's going to administer, but we will, I'm sure, be taking the applications,
Sure.
passing those to the state. And that's just some additional funds that they got through the CARES Act, and they'll be utilizing that for people that meet our poverty standards.
People really are sometimes badmouth the federal government on things, but they don't realize all this money has been coming out.
Yeah.
We don't always hear about it, and these are programs that most things are all controlled by states. That's one thing. Think, the government's not helping us, but the policy is it goes down to the state, to the local government, and it comes down to people like you that is really distributing these monies, and it takes time, and people blame the president or the Congress or someone about things. Anybody but themselves, to doing that.
And if you don't realize that these programs are available,
Right.
if you're not normally a client maybe of social
Right.
services,
So one-time
and you
deal.
don't know that programs like this are even available, that's why we're doing this. We want these programs to be utilized.
Yeah, some people say, "Well, I
as much
work.
as possible.
I'm not qualified," but you might be.
You might be. So
this will help you up.
Right,
Helping
right.
you. I noticed on your thing here you have SNAP down. You
Yeah.
want to talk about SNAP? Is there any new things happening with that because of the COVID?
Well, because of COVID, they've extended. Everyone's getting their maximum for SNAP benefits, and
Go ahead and tell us what SNAP is again.
That Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Is that what they used to call food stamps?
Yes.
Okay.
Used to be food stamps.
We're all on the same page here. Yeah.
So if let's say you're a single person and you qualify for your maximum is $196, but you only receive $50 because of your income. So you receive $50 and the last month they did this, I believe they did it in June. So this month on Sunday they'll be dropping in the supplemental SNAP, so you'll get up to your maximum benefit. If you're already receiving the maximum benefit, you will not get additional funds. But if you are under that maximum, then you'll get whatever the difference is.
Okay.
On Sunday. It'll be dropping in.
Well, that'll help quite a bit.
And they've been doing that every month.
Because I noticed at our church we've had a few extra requests for food this month that we didn't have last month because I figured the money ran out, and now we're getting, because people are worried about not being extended,
Right.
And we had a few more requests for that. So, and it's we
Yeah,
noticed
we might
that
see it
when the
more.
money was flowing, we didn't really have as
Right.
many requests,
Right.
and people were, being responsible, going out and spending this money. For food and things, so it's
Right.
it's an important program. There's no excuse in this county to go hungry. I don't think.
I don't think so.
I
We're
talked-
trying our best.
I talked to Chairman Mabe, and he says, the county is serving school-age children by the thousands, and even in families, he said, I've got boxes of food sitting there. So if you come up with your child and you need help, we got boxes and boxes of food that we can pass out
Right.
to the parents
Right.
to help them through the program. So he said his goal, it's one of his,
focused on
he's
that.
very focused on that. And when they say no child hungry, he means no child hungry.
Right.
And that goes for their parents too. So, if you are struggling for that, all you have to do is ask. I mean,
Yeah, there are a lot of programs. The churches are back up and running
Sure.
with their evening dinners, 5 nights a week.
Right.
So
I want to thank you too for extending the thermal shelter out. That made a big difference for people.
oh, you're welcome.
And I think, and I heard that it's going to open up earlier this
we
year.
are opening our target is November 1st.
Right.
We received another grant, and this is again because of COVID. So we're hoping we'll be able to open November 1st, and then go into our normal schedule in January.
Right. It's not like you're helping hundreds and hundreds of people.
No.
But at the same time, when you're helping these people, you take away other issues and problems down the road on somewhere else. So really, it does affect the community.
Right.
Well, homelessness always affects the whole community. You talk about incarcerations, you talk about hospital bills, emergency room bills, because that's where people have to go when they get sick. And if you live outside, you're going to get sick. And so there is a cost to the community, and a lot of communities have done some really important work to try to end homelessness in their community. And I think Michelle focuses on that, and we will move forward, and I'm sure the new director will move forward with those kind of things, so that we don't. It would be great if we came to a time we didn't need that shelter.
Right, but the homeless have been with us forever.
Yeah.
There's and nowadays, no one in their right mind wants to be homeless. I mean, we already know that. So we're fighting this issue with mental problems and things for people that just don't want to help. They want to. That's just the way they are. And you have some clients like that.
Well, most of our people that we serve would like housing.
Exactly.
Most of them would appreciate housing.
The people that you're dealing with the thermal shelter, those are people who are looking for help.
They want.
But we do
housing.
know we have
But there
this.
are people that don't stay, that are homeless, that don't stay with us. Yeah.
Or won't play by the rules, so to speak.
Right. You always have that. A couple of those.
I was talking to Michelle earlier. I said I told you about building tiny houses for homeless.
Yes.
I looked that up. There's communities that have
Yes.
built that are charging rent to people that are homeless according to their ability to pay, and because people just really, when they pay something, it's not the same as just getting it for free.
right.
I don't care if it's $5.
It's an
There's skin in the
investment.
game.
Yes.
And there's communities out there that have built these places that have accepted that, and that may be something to look into going forward.
We've thought
It's not
about
a
it,
permanent
thought about it.
solution,
Right.
and you don't want someone just homesteading there, but it does better than living in a tent.
Yes.
And they have access to the resources and hygiene and food and things like
Right.
that may do it. So that's something that we'll look forward. Another project of
Another
your.
project, yes.
Well, I'm always thinking of more stuff that Michelle.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, everybody thinks
And
about
I
that.
appreciate, I really want to acknowledge publicly how much help she is to this community.
Yeah.
She probably gets 50 phone calls a day, and she does her very best to help every single person.
She's got her hand in a lot of things of the community, and that's.
She's developed those resources.
She did, and that's why I always tell people, they call me for something, I said, well, I got a guy. So I give your phone number out at least several times a week to people. I said, I know you don't even do it, but I said, I think she probably will know somebody that can help her. I know it's not under your.
And if I don't, a lot of times I'll research it to find out who does. If I've never,
exactly.
a lot of times I get calls that are just first time questions about
Sure.
something. I'm like, I've never had a call about
Oh,
that
that's
before.
interesting. Maybe.
Yes.
And it identifies a problem
Yes,
is sometimes larger than we realize. Yeah.
And the churches have been a
Oh, they're
wonderful resource.
wonderful.
And
Yeah.
they've always wanted to help, but it was difficult for them to know how to help.
Exactly.
And when
There wasn't
they-
any coordination.
And with Michelle's position as community liaison, she is the person that can coordinate it. She can vet the people, make sure they're eligible, make sure they're not abusing it, and then get them the help they need. I mean, last week she got a call. Some lady was eligible for an air conditioner, but she was all elderly. She couldn't go pick it up, and she
Right.
couldn't put it in. Michelle made a phone call. One of the churches volunteered to go do that for her. It's really about neighbors helping neighbors, and just being good stewards in this community. And this community does step up and help people
Yes,
when
they
they
do.
can.
They
They're
do.
very generous, and they're very kind. And I've loved that about this community. And I'm sure the new director will be one of the things they are most happy about.
Well, I go back to Chairman Mabe again. We're giving Walt a lot of credit here, but his team, we've did some bumper stickers for him, and he's really promoting this. We're stronger together,
Yeah.
and that's so true.
Right.
I hate to say it takes a village, but it does. But
Yeah,
we are
we are-
stronger together,
we
and
are.
realizing
Great.
we each have problems and opportunities that can come our way, and there's always somebody out there to help if you just ask. Don't sit around waiting for them to
Right.
show up.
Right, and it is. It's a great community. I've really enjoyed doing what I do the last 3 years here with working with the churches and all the nonprofits and the community leaders and everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's been great.
Right.
So-
These are the things that people don't see.
Yeah.
And they don't really realize that this has been going on. They take it to thermal shelter or all these programs, that we even have a part of our community that needs these things. People don't see it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
we don't have
that's it.
homeless pitching tents on our sidewalk downtown like some cities
Yeah.
Yeah.
have that done, but it does exist, and you know,
And the support the thermal shelter has received since we started has been tremendous.
Oh, yes.
It has been tremendous. And this last season, which was trying at times, without that support from our volunteers and
Right.
the churches and the community and everybody, just to make that, because we were open for 5 months, so or
it's a lot of
It was
time.
maybe 6
Time
months.
is
It was a long
takes on-
time.
It does. You think, when will this
So-
ever end? You know, so, oh darn, we got another grant.
Oh, don't say that. No. No, we're very happy we got the other grant.
Let's end here on that first. You got another program?
So I
Oh,
just
you
wanted
do.
to mention something real quick. We're having a children's clothing drive at Fantasyland Shelter 5 on Saturday, this Saturday from 10 to 1. So just 3 hours. It's only children's clothes, and we have a lot of
children's
toddler
clothes,
clothes. Baby, newborn.
This is things you want to give
toddlers.
away.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
giving them away.
Oh, you don't want
We
to
don't
collect?
want anybody. We don't want to collect anymore. We want to give it away. So if you are in need of children's clothing, we do have different sizes, but a lot of it is toddler and infant. And we have bibs, like a bag full of bibs. The pregnancy center gave us a lot of infant clothing and blankets and things like that. So we have some shoes. We have some books. So a lot of the clothes came from Moms to Mom. So they're really nice, gently used clothing. So if you're interested, come down 10 to 1 this Saturday, Fantasyland Shelter 5.
Well, that's great.
Beth and I will be there.
Well, let's end back on the first thing we talked
Okay.
about.
All right.
So just give us a summary again in case you missed it. Tuned
Okay.
in late here.
Well, this is the mortgage relief program. It's the rent and mortgage relief program.
I was going to say it's mortgage.
it's-
So even if
So
you're a
even
homeowner,
if you're a homeowner,
that's
yes.
right. That's what I meant to ask you at the beginning.
Yes.
You talked about renters, but we're also talking about people that actually are homeowners.
Right.
Right.
Yes. And so through this program, you give them a call, you go through a screening process, they send you an application, fill that out. They will ask you for supporting documentation, maybe bank statements, paycheck stubs, that type of thing. But it's a great program. It's underutilized right now, and they'll be getting more money. So I think even if you don't feel like you would qualify, I think you should call because you might be surprised.
Right. And the rules
And-
change, like we said.
Yeah.
And again,
and it's
maybe you don't get it on round one, but you may qualify for round
Next time,
two.
yeah. And so the phone number again is 833-437-0114. And the website, if you wanted to go to their website, is dhcd.virginia.gov. dhcd.virginia.gov. And then you can go on there and you can do like a little screening online if you want to
See
do
if
it that way.
get the basic
Yeah, you can read the
Basic
information.
requirements and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Well, Beth, I'm glad you're back helping.
Thank you.
And you guys are always welcome to come in. Michelle, I'm sure you'll have plenty of projects to talk about here as we go forth as
Yes,
winter
as
approaches.
the winter approaches, I will have a lot to talk about.
And new things like this come up. So keep
Yeah.
us abreast, keep our community abreast of what we're doing and helping out those that need it. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right, and you're welcome.
Thank you
Come
so much.
anytime,
Thank you.
anytime.
Thank
you so
Appreciate
much.
that. Thanks again.
Okay.